Hello, everybody. Welcome back to yet another Saat Ki Baat, LAJA ke Saath. This talk today is going to resonate with a lot of us, especially as women. And, with the lockdown, we're all stuck at home. All of us who are, who are working women are now stuck at home managing home and our children and our husbands and the household. And those of you who've been homemakers, this is a double burden with everybody sitting at home and everybody having their own demands. So we wanted to talk to somebody who has the qualification and the experience, and who's a woman herself. So joining me today is Meeta Shah. She is a senior counselor, psychologist, and psychotherapist. She's an established clinical psychologist and psychotherapist with over 29 years of experience in counseling children, adolescents, young adults, and senior citizens.
Yeah.
She's Over the years, she's held a lot of workshops for private and for corporate, and her topics range from managing depression to anxiety, coping with difficult life situations, effectively managing emotions, anger management, sexual harassment awareness, suicidal awareness and prevention. And today she's going to be talking to us and sharing some tips, some guidance, something that we can all take back home with us. So,
Yeah.
welcome to Lajja's Saat Ki Baat. Thank you so much, Meeta ma'am.
Hello, good evening. Thank you, Dr. Riddhi and Vandana Joshi, to give me this platform to have a nice interaction with all the women, lovely women, Indian women. They are
Yes.
lovely. Yes.
The pleasure's all ours, ma'am. So, without
Thank
wasting
you.
any further time, let us just get
Yeah.
cracking into all of those questions. Now,
Yeah.
when I was having this talk with you, you spoke about anxiety and stress. So, let us start off from there. How would you define or explain anxiety and stress? Maybe with if we understood that a little bit more, the rest would follow easily.
True, Vandana, that's so true. It's very important to know what anxiety means. Um, there is a difference between fear and anxiety, and people cannot differentiate. So, a little bit of educational, psychoeducational would help them. Fear is real when the threat is right opposite you, and it's a question of life and death. For example, a grizzly bear who's really hungry has opened up his wide mouth and has come to you and is about to jump at you. Do you know what would happen to your body? It would
Probably
either
going to shock.
freeze.
Yes.
Absolutely. So when it goes for a shock or freeze, what is happening inside?
Okay.
Are you aware of that?
I
That
guess.
would be heartbeats going high,
Yes.
breathing either stuck or going so fast. Yeah. Muscles going rigid, frozen,
Yes.
and so often. And imagine getting these same kind of symptoms when your mate doesn't come in the morning. That's what I spoke today morning. So, like,
Okay.
early morning, you get up and you say, oh, today, oh God, again, the meat is not there and I'll have to do everything. And imagine all these things happening to you again. That is anxiety. So, you're creating the same body sensations which would have otherwise come only when there is a real life threatening fear. So, exactly, today we all are at home. I agree. But it's not about COVID that is causing so much anxiety. It is a big concern. I will not deny that. I agree totally. But it's what we think about this COVID which is causing us more. For example, no more maids. Oh God, the kids at home. Oh no, oh God, again the whole day in the kitchen. No time for me self. All we need to do probably is just to manage it well. So, how do we manage it? That is
Yes.
another thing. Let us go back to a few weeks before the lockdown. How was
Okay.
it? How was it when we were traveling? left to right in Mumbai. Traveling is again stressful. Everyday stress, doing all the chores that were routinely set by us. And again, we didn't have time for ourselves even then.
True.
And we would wait for a time like, can all this just stop and can we have some time for myself? And now the universe is, in a way, if you look at that perspective, is giving so much time to you to be with yourself inside also and to be with your family members, which we were not getting that time.
True.
But now it's an overdose.
Yes, quite an overdose.
So true. And again, it kind of sends us, to it's like it's I heard this story, if it's a metaphor, of a person who was traveling, and for 3 days he was so hungry, and when he felt hungry he couldn't find anything, and he was so desperate, and to have something in his life, and suddenly he sees an apple tree. He has one apple and it's like nectar for him, it's like he could not leave a bit of that apple. He literally finished it off completely, and then he went for the other. The second one was a little not that good as the first one, then the third one, then the fourth one, till he came to the 10th. He was totally saturated. He did not have any value for that apple. Why? It was not as valuable as it was the first day.
That's right. Yes.
Similarly, is our situation. We take everything for granted.
Yes.
So
So how should or how would we manage this overdose of family time that's happening these days?
yeah, yeah.
Like, yes,
Yeah. So we have a lot of women. Some of them who are married, some of them who are not married, some of them who are single, some of them who are single-handedly handling kids. There are all kinds of women that we are going to talk about. So we'll talk in general. For I will take all of them. For example, people who are single and who are working and are at home can start working at home. For example, I too was going and giving out and giving counseling. Now I'm doing it online. We need to change ourselves to accept what is happening outside. So, accept what is happening outside and bring about a change inside can allow us to modify the way we are operating, learn new things. It's the first time I've come online. And I've learned from you to come on StreamYard. So this
yeah,
is also a learning, right?
true, true, true.
Yeah. So similarly, we are always running in this rat race, and now God has given us time to also work with this body. So there is a lock outwards, there is a lockdown outwards, there is a opening inwards. how
True.
does that how does that feel? How much time do you give to yourself now that everyone is at home? You don't have to rush for anything. Everything can be taken at a nicely, calmly way. We can share that we don't want to do too much overworking with ourselves. We can share it with the people whom we are living with. Can you also help me, with a little bit of cleaning up? And what if it was not cleaned up the way we would have preferred it? Can we do it the next day? How
True.
bad is it? Is it as bad as, someone really getting this virus?
True.
No. So we are so much lucky and grateful that we have family, we have a house where we can be locked up, and we have time to work with ourselves. So, our perspectives needs to be modified to work
Modified.
and accept. Yeah. So
Yes.
that's how we can manage.
It's like saying that the grass is greener on the other side. It's always going to be green.
Yeah.
I mean, once you
Yeah.
get there, also you would think it is greener here. So yes,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
you made an interesting point that we've been, the lock is on the outside, so this is the ideal time to open the insides, and
Yeah,
uh,
it's like, Vandana, how they say that a half glass full or a half glass empty. So if you look outside your windows and say, oh my God, see, everything's locked up, God knows when will it, how is that helping you?
true, true,
But if I look outside early morning and say, wow, look, the sun is not locked up. He's coming up every day. The birds are chirping.
Wow. Yes, that's a lovely
Yeah.
way of looking at it. True, true.
Yes, yes. I'll wait for the moon too, and the
Ah,
stars too. Because
yes,
now, with this pollution gone down, have you ever tried going up in your terrace and looking up? Oh
yes.
my God, you can see so many stars and planets right now.
Yes, once you thought were never existed before.
We never had time for that too.
Yes, yes, absolutely. It's so nice to have you, be so positive and so chirpy about the situation, because what we have, any woman, if you look at any woman or any lady, what we realize is, for them, the family first, comes first, their health comes first, their mental health comes first, and women never look at themselves as somebody who could
Very
also
true.
be suffering. So
Very true.
as somebody who's been a psychologist and have had so many cases, what do you think women need to really be doing?
That's a very good question you asked, Vandana. Usually, women, as women, not all, but generally in India and Eastern countries, I will say that includes China, etc., where women are considered to be like, working at home, stay at home, preferably, like, you should do all the work. And, they have been treated as a second option, not the first man boy. Now things are changing. Now things are changing very well. But still, there are lots of places where still this thing is going on. The reason why a woman takes herself secondary and keeps the entire family first is because she has been conditioned when she was born.
Okay.
She's been conditioned that, I think most men are also conditioned that you can only be a good person when people approve of you,
Hmm.
when people approve of your performances, when people approve of you because of your class, color, sex, creed, caste. There's so many things that,
So many.
have conditioned us. And so we also believe that we come secondary. It's first our family. But do you know, if you don't work on yourself, how it affects your family? Let's
True.
look at it in a different way. So let's assume that if I haven't worked with myself and my feelings or my body sensations, which I was talking about, if I haven't kind of, calmed it down and worked on it, then it's going to be immediately reflected on my communication. So when I communicate with my kids, it's go, are you all going to your place or not? So what is it? What is it telling me about myself? I'm shouting, I'm not being able to manage, something's happening inside, there's a restlessness, there's an irritation, there's anger. So how would you think they are going to understand you when you are talking in this fashion? It's not about what you say, it's about how you say.
True.
Because
True.
communication skills, if you know, and many of the women may be working with soft skills communication or are into HR, they know that it's about 97% is about how, and only 7%, 93% is about how, and 7% is about words. Words don't
Okay.
mean anything. It's how you say. And how, and your body cannot lie.
Yes.
Your
Absolutely.
body can never lie. You should see those serials, like Lie to Me, etc. They really talk about the body language. You need to have those cues, and body cannot lie.
Ever. True.
So your kids can have a very good antenna to pick up your body language rather than what you're saying. So,
True.
so if you don't work on yourself, you're not doing a good job for your family too. So, how would you want to work with yourself? Is taking this lock out as getting in, getting locked in. Let's go inward. Let's say this is my house and I need to go in. And when I go in, I just pay attention to my breathing and just be there. It's so simple, but it's not at all easy because there's a traffic jam of thoughts, what's happening there, what's happening in the neighborhood. Oh, I've got this work to do, that work to do. So there's a traffic jam of thoughts and a lot of these things. But at the same time, we say, okay, just 10 minutes, let me be with my breath again. So even if you are able to do that 1 minute, 2 minutes, there was a very nice video on this, a monkey mind, you know,
Okay.
and he explains that this mind is like a monkey. It just goes chatter, 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 chatter whole day. So how do we tell it, hello, hey mind, just keep quiet? So who's going to tell this? So it's us. So we need to tell it, hello, fine, let it be. Get back to breathing. Just get back to breathing. Just get back to breathing because, we ladies especially, or even men, why not only ladies? All of us just keep on thinking, overthinking, and we think of the future and the past, but we are not remaining in the present.
Present. So
And
true.
that creates a lot of anxiety. That creates a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Actually, even Riddhi promotes this thing. When you, as you were talking to me, I remembered, Riddhi has, when she was talking to children, especially, she talks about the here and now. So she makes the
yeah,
children go through this breathing exercise. And
yes.
yes. So like I
So
told you
true.
today, I was sharing this incident about today being a very special and hard day for me because today is the day when my mother passed away 7 years back. So normally, what happens is on this day, I'm generally very, either extreme, behavior. Either I'm very sad or I'm generally very angry. And as it so happened, I was doing something and my kids came up to me for something and I immediately screamed. And i
Ah,
I didn't scream at them, I just screamed. But the reaction was they immediately took to two corners of the room and waited till I moved out of the room to come back and start doing what they were doing. And that's when I realized
ah,
that it was
yes.
wrong of me to have done that. But at
Yeah,
that point in time it was beyond my control.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it
so
happens. At times it happens. We all are fallible human beings. The
yeah,
most important thing is to learn to get up again.
yes.
Yeah,
So this breathing and looking inside is very interesting and very
yeah,
important. I should
and
be doing that a
yeah,
little bit more often.
yes, yes. Just pay attention over here. From where am I breathing? Which nostrils? And then gradually put your hand on your heart. See how's it happening there. Put one hand on your belly and see how's it happening there. When there are
Okay,
too many thoughts coming to you, sometimes we also need to can even hold our heads and just hold it and say, hello, what's happening
okay.
here? So, these are the vagus nerves, and we are just going to be in touch with them so that they relax. So, if you are able to calm down, you can help your kids to calm down. This is a lesson of life which each and every mother human being should know,
Yeah,
or a
very true.
father, or a man, anybody. Everybody should be able to know that I need to calm down. I need to check how is it here and here, because these thoughts, the vagus nerves, affect the entire body, and that's how we get um, hyperthyroid. That's what I had when I had a trauma. We have high blood pressure, we have diabetes. All these are mostly also, besides heredity, it's also about your life. Totally, you're so restless, you want to work, 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 work. There's no time for anything else, just work, work, work. There is no emotion, there is no right hemisphere to right hemisphere connection. There's only left hemisphere working. You know what I mean by right and left?
Yes, yes, yes.
Right is more creative, emotional, left is more practical and work oriented and memory and concentration. We need a balance of both.
True.
We need a balance of both, because if we have only thinking of just say emotions and not even rational thinking, then that's also not true. That's what happened to you today because you were very high at your emotional level.
Yes,
And when
yes.
you came down, You realize that should not have done that, and you regret a little bit, which is fine. That's also healthy. We are normal human beings. But imagine if you had not come down.
Poor kids.
Yeah. So that's what's happening to many of us. So we
Mm,
need to first go inside, calm us down, and then we can talk outwards. So
okay.
it really works well. Yeah.
I think this is where the thing of when you're angry, you count to 10 and then you react. I guess this is where it comes from, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of, it is, and we also need to, I have, Vandana, if it's okay to share something, there are so many mothers who want their children to do very well outside.
Yes.
Okay, they want them to stand up on the stage and perform well. They want to see that confidence in them. But do you know that they do not allow these kids to take responsibility, not even one responsibility in the house? Everything is readily given to them. Even what they are wearing is a kind of judged. Oh, you pricked up this shirt, it doesn't look good on you. Unknowingly, unintentionally. The intentions of the mother is very nice, that I want my child to look better. But how how would it help you if you keep on sarcastically comment, criticize whatever this child is doing? Rather, we need to shift and say, wow, you washed the vessels. Thank you so much. But we don't do that. Hey man,
We
do
don't.
fast. You're so slow. You're not cutting fast. You're so slow. Let us make each and every of these activities in the house a little bit more enjoyable, interesting, so that this child loves it. Like, a friend of mine, she had these two small kids and she made them cut potatoes with a blunt knife. So what
Okay.
she did was she made them wear this chef caps and aprons, and she gave them a cutting board and the blunt knives. And she says, "Okay, I'm taking a video of you all. Let's see how good you are. It's a talk show, so you're going to teach me how to make aloo ka sabzi. So now come on,
Okay.
let's do it." And they
Okay.
they literally did things like that. So how interestingly can you make them enroll in this daily activity with, okay, what's the menu tomorrow? And get that interest, that enthusiasm in them, and do it as a joint family activity.
True. True.
So, small, small little things like these. Again, if they are bigger kids, they'll do it faster. But again, appreciate what they are doing. At the same time, you can also indulge with a lot of online courses, classes. There are online exams going on.
Yes.
Students are quite confused and bored. They are bored when they have to learn online. It's so boring. Right
Yes.
now, for some time, I can talk with you because it's of your interest. Imagine me talking physics right now. I'm sure none of those people who are watching right now would have dropped like.
Ah,
So it's okay. Let's admit it is very, very boring. So support them. Acknowledge that it is boring. And it's okay to bunk sometimes also. It's not necessary to hold it, just study, study, study. Relax, moms, relax.
I know we need to teach moms, including myself, to relax. The relax is the word we should be sticking up everywhere, saying relax.
Yeah.
Usko dekho to
Yeah, I,
relax.
I would I would suggest that moms also watch a little bit of TV with the kids once a while, watch movies, let them even play because they need something. Also,
Yes.
at the same time, teach them how to regulate their body sensations. You know the regulators of the fan,
Yes.
slow, fast. It's so fast. You're so fast in doing so many things, restless. Can we regulate it? We don't want them very slow also. Somewhere in the middle.
Ah, interesting. Wow, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Thank you.
Okay, now since we are talking, on the topic of women, another issue that a lot of women now are facing, especially in the lockdown.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, no, that's okay.
So
Especially in the
one
lock.
minute. There was a call. One second.
Oh, yes,
1 second. I need to turn off my. Just give me a second
yes, yes. All
because
right.
I'll be disturbed otherwise.
No, no, no. Okay.
Hmm. I'm so sorry.
No, no, that's
Okay, let's
okay.
move on, but I can't hear you
You can't hear me?
because this call had come. Okay, I'll just leave and join back. I think that would
Yeah,
be
leave
better.
and join back. Yes, yes, please. So yes, I'm so happy to see so many people live watching us. Let's just bear with ma'am for a little bit. Maybe she's doing this on her phone, and which is why we are facing with a slight problem. But nonetheless, she has shared some really interesting things with us. And oh, thank you, Bhavna, for reminding me. I wished her personally, but maybe I should wish her here too. uh, Prerna, Bhavna, I'm so happy that you join us every time. Okay, ma'am is back.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you
So
loud and
sorry
clear.
for this technical issue. I'm very sorry. Yeah,
No, no, that's okay.
yeah,
Happens. So
yeah.
yes. So coming back to my question, since we're focusing on women and how they're dealing with home and all of that. Now, a lot of the households now also have senior citizens in them. Now, while it is easy
Yes.
to handle children, where in terms of you can shout at them maybe and tell them to sit someplace, or you can keep them occupied. What do you do with senior citizens? You can't scream at them. You can't tie them down. They are too going through a lot of mental trauma in this current situation. So how should we deal with them? How should the woman or the family deal with a senior citizen in the family?
Yeah. I know, I know, I know, I know. I had the same issues a few days before the lockdown. When the 22nd Sunday was there, the curfew was there. I had my parents with me also.
Okay.
Okay. And somehow my father is not someone who is going to listen to anyone also. So he wanted to go down because he likes to smoke. That's
Okay.
some of his habits, which he
Mm.
doesn't want to change at this age, at the age of 80 plus. At the same time, when I made him understand that, it's not about him getting it, but if he's going to get it home, it's going to affect me and my mom too. So would you
Mm.
want that? And then he says, no, I'm coming with you. He said, you don't go alone in the car. I'm coming with you. I said, no, you're going to stay home like a small child, but with
Child.
lots of love, with a lot of compassion, not kind of putting them down, putting them high. There's a difference, right?
Yes.
Sometimes we put them we put a child, no, you cannot eat ice cream because it's not going to it's going to you're going to fall ill, so you're putting the child up. But if you're going to criticize them, you can't think of anything but your smoke example, which could come up from me, which could have come out from me, that's going to make them feel bad about themselves.
True.
At the same time, how can we make them feel good about themselves? Papa, I love you. I know you can't live without smoke, but you will have to deal with that rather than losing me or mom or any one of our family members. Because I love you. And I'm going to shout at you if you don't listen. And
Okay,
then
fair
when
enough.
he does, and then when he
Huh.
does listen, and then when he does listen, say, Papa, I really love you. It really helps, just like a child. They are just like kids, man, after 80. And they need that recognition.
Agreed. Okay. So this is from a perspective of, you're talking to your parents, your father. Now, the building that I stay in, we have a lot of people who have come to the city for the first time from villages, so small towns maybe. And so they have their in-laws with them. Now, for a North Indian family, your in-laws are always on a pedestal. You always keep them there. So how do you deal with those in-laws? Parents we
Very true.
understand.
Very
How do you deal
nice.
with
Yeah.
in-laws?
Yeah. Now you're coming to a different thing called, when you said North Indians, as counselors and psychologists, we know that, when you talk about, we are not becoming biased here, but
No,
when
we
we know
completely.
that people, yeah, but we know that the kind of backgrounds that they are coming with, they have a different belief system, and they are
True,
very, very rigid with their belief systems.
true.
Even a respect to the elders is so much that you cannot shout at them. It's
True.
not about shouting at them, it's about loving them. That, Papa, I understand that you would like to go. For example, if you're talking with your father in law who's come for outing to Mumbai, but at the same time, more than your outing, Papa, I wouldn't want to lose you for anything. How does that sound?
True.
Papa, it's okay if you even shout at me and you think I'm not a good daughter in law, but I really do not want you to get ill at all because this virus is so bad. So kind of psychoeducate them by really showing the some of those videos which were quite disturbing, to really see the massive thing that has happened in Italy, in England, London, UK, New York. Let them really see those things and then let them realize what you are trying to say. And that, Papa, this is not permanent. This situation that we are all in will change after 1 or 2 months. It's just a question of 2 months, Papa. ज्यादा से ज्यादा 3-4 महीना और क्या, Papa? But at least we are there together. So the
Wow.
long term and short term damages and benefits. अभी आप चले जाएंगे, आपको बेनिफिट लगेगा, हाँ ठीक है मैं चला गया, पर पापा लॉन्ग टर्म में वो कितना डैमेजिंग है. और पापा अभी आप सहन कर लो जो आपको डैमेजिंग लग रहे हैं, लेकिन वो टेम्पररी है पापा. लॉन्ग टर्म में वी विल बी सो मच मोर बेटर एंड हैप्पियर.
Wow. Yes. Nazariya badalna hai.
Yeah.
The perspective has to change.
With
Wow, that
reality.
with reality. Wow, this is yes, this is a
So the
lovely
more
takeaway today.
authentic, when you're very authentic with yourself and your emotions, the opposite person will resonate. It's about
Absolutely.
your energy is resonating. But if I'm with my anger, a little bit of anger with criticism, sarcasm, or judging, then it doesn't resonate with the
Doesn't
other
work.
person.
True, true.
So it's my right hemisphere, my emotional, resonating with the other person's right hemisphere emotions.
Wow, that's really interesting.
It's the limbic, we call it the limbic brain inside, which is more emotional brain
More
rather than the
emotional.
rational. Yeah.
Okay, so we have dealt with children, we have dealt with senior citizens. Let's talk about another complex set of people, our teens, our young
Ah.
adults, as you call them. How do you deal with them? Now, the first 15 days of lockdown was manageable, keeping them at home and probably letting them connect with their friends and all of that online. But now, keeping them at home, like there was a case in Kerala 2 days back where a guy has told his mother that he's going to buy vegetables. He's gone out and he's packed his friend in a suitcase and brought him home.
Oh my goodness. I missed this. I missed this news. I didn't see that.
Yes, my mother-in-law told me about it and how people
Oh wow.
realized this fellow was dragging the suitcase in and the suitcase was shaking. So somebody noticed and asked him, "What's in here?" So he said, "Nothing, nothing." And then finally they made him open up the suitcase and there his friend is all curled up and sitting in the tight compartment. But the lengths to which the boy went to bring his friend back home because he couldn't deal with being away from friends for so long. So how do you deal with our youngsters now in this
Yeah,
lockdown?
that's a very good question and a very good example that you give. Nice. Thank you, Vandana. Teens are a different category. Okay. And how teens are today depends on how you were as a parent. If I was too strict with them, then they are going to be like a spring. They are going to chalang marte hain. They will could be defiant. They will do exactly. They'll hide from you. They'll lie to you. If I'm too permissive as a parent, then they will not going to listen to me either. People say, no, you have to be absolute friends and allow them to do anything and everything in front of you. No, hello. You remain the parent, please. But you remain an adult parent. You don't need to become a child with them. You need to be an adult parent, someone who will say that I am not liking this. I would respect you if you do not do this particular act and remain as a parent. But do not, I mean, There are people, it all again talks about how you deal with it, not what words you use, but how you deal with it. So parenting is something that I'm sure you all would have known about. Now, when you're talking about the teenagers, yes, there are teenagers who have been getting what they want when they want every time. That's another kind of millennials that we are, finding right now. So what they do is like, I want an ice cream and he gets it. I want to go out and he gets it. I want a motorbike and he gets it. I want to go out for a friend and I, okay, fine, you get it. Now there's a lockout period where it's boss, no boss. So how do we give responsibility to them that they are responsible for the other family members also? Because if they go out and they touch someone or they by chance get it in, would they be able to tolerate the worst case scenario? So, what is that worst case scenario for them? It would be something like, imagine some of us, your parents or anybody, been taken away and we are literally can't breathe, and it's a last stage, which is reality. Will you be able to tolerate that? Or can you tolerate not having the friend for 2 more months? Again, it's short term.
Short
What is
term.
more tolerable? So, we need to encourage and we need to increase their frustration levels. They feel that they can't bear it. So, we need to give them the worst case scenario and ask them to choose. The power of choice should be given to them. Let them make the decision. Can you choose a friend over us? Because that is the scenario right now. That's why the police and the government and everybody is saying don't go out. Because, and you see the videos, you know it. It's not that you don't know. From here you know, but here you're not feeling it. Let's look at it. The feeling comes from the body. I can't bear it, I can't bear it. What's happening, where it's happening? Let's tolerate it. Let us check, if something happens to me and I go, how would that feel? So is that more or this more?
True.
So both are assumptions. It's not a fact that you really can't live. It's not a life and death situation where you are going to die if you don't meet your friend within 2 months.
Yeah.
So we catastrophize some situations that we can't survive without them. There is a video call. You can talk, you can chat, you can have a nice 2 3 friends chatting together in a few calls. You can give some time to your friends. Maybe it's not just friend and something else. Again, we need to look at it. Is it because you know what, it's not about friends, it's about taking a smoke together that they miss, maybe. So you need to really find out, and even if that is, oh, it's fine, you don't get cigarettes, it's not about a friend, you know so you need to go to the depth, and there are a lot of things that we can speak about. Increasing the frustration tolerance is one of the main things. We need to lessen the catastrophizing of not meeting a friend. It's not that bad. And we need to make them learn how to tolerate that situation
True.
and learn to be more resilient to tolerate it. Resilience will come out only when you tolerate. It's okay. It's not that good. But what parents do, "Acha, theek hai, ja, tu chala ja." So we need, as a parent, we also need to be more firm. We do not need to be a parent who just lets go of everything, and we do not need to be an absolute strict parent for everything. But there are some things where we need to stand for what we believe in.
Wow. Wow, this has been so interesting. And you were talking about how you would want to have our participants go through a small exercise or an activity that you had in mind. So I think we should, this is like the perfect way to end the kind of conversation we were having and have our women go through, our women and men. I'm so happy to see so many men also watching us
Wow.
online.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
and we have birthday greetings for you from Bhavna Mehta, Geeta
Oh my
Patil,
God.
and
Oh
Prerna
my God.
Vaswani.
Oh
So
my
happy
God.
birthday to
Thank
you from
you.
them.
Thank you. Yes, today is my birthday. And let me share with you all, dear friends, that it's nearly going to be a month that I'm absolutely locked out, all alone, isolated. And I'm sure there are many women like me or men like me. And remember, we can do it. When
Yes.
we were able to bear tsunami, when we are able to bear terrorist attacks and riots and everything. This is nothing. We are safe. We are safe, nice, safe in the safe heaven that we call home.
True. True.
So let's
Please
work
take
with
note.
ourselves.
Yes.
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 Huh?
Yes.
There is a small little exercise which I want all of us to do, because we, as you said, this is related to the question where you said that we put others before us, and we don't look at ourselves with the same kind eyes that we look at others.
True.
So, do you remember anyone who's got lovely, kind eyes? Let's do that exercise. Let's think of a person. Okay, let's have that image of a person who's really got kind eyes. Can you think of
Okay.
someone? Let's say Mother Teresa. Look at the kind eyes. Now, let us look at the with the same kind eyes. Let's take a step inside and look with the same kind eyes inwards at ourselves. Let's be kind to us. Can we put 1% of our eyes which are coming outwards, can we put them inwards a little bit and look at the kindness and feel the kindness to ourselves inside?
Wow.
That's a small exercise that I would want you to do. It's a very profound exercise, though it's very simple. There could be a catastrophizing, I mean, there could be a catharsis with many people. There could be a catharsis with many people because they've never looked at themselves like that.
True. True.
So,
Wow.
if there is someone who's interacting with you, I would really want, if there are any other questions they would want me to answer.
Bhavna Mehta has, emphasized again what you have said: resilience to tolerate. This is a wow conversation. She's saying. So thank you,
Wow.
Bhavna. You know what? What I liked is when we were doing that exercise. We had, I think, your phone rang again, but.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know.
ha ha.
There's a music going on in the background. I don't know whether I'm
Ha
hearing
ha
it or whether
ha
everybody
ha.
else is,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but it was so apt. He came at the right moment, and it was a wonderful coincidence that happened. And uh,
Wow.
yes, I'm sure everybody. No, I think you have left everybody in this thinking mode, and I have no questions from anybody. Yes. Oh wow, this is
This is something else. I want you all to listen to these musics and vibrations. Vibration is still there. So sometimes, like these alternative therapies, to calm down when you are feeling anxiety full is really helpful. It also gives a very good vibration throughout your houses when you play music and sound with good vibrations.
true. True.
So if you look at sound vibrations, the hertz, there are a lot of different hertz also, which calms you down, which calms your anxiety down. So please go through these.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Yeah, all are. I'm sure I'm not getting questions from anybody because everybody has
Sure.
gone into this thinking mode. And while I see that a lot of people are online, they're all very quiet. And I think this
Thank you.
retrospection and this inner
Very
thinking has
nice.
started off. So thank you so much, Meeta ma'am. You have been a joy to talk to, and
Thank you.
even before we started this live, the conversation we had and the kind of warmth you have extended to me is
Thank you.
wonderful. Thank you so much. And like
Thank
Riddhi
you.
always says, Riddhi always ends a conversation with thank you, Dil se. So I would like to
How
thank you,
sweet.
Dil se. And
Thank
people, I
you.
hope all of you who have been watching us and watching Meeta ma'am take away something from this conversation, and she's always available. We can reach out to her at any time.
Thank
And
you.
thank you so much, ma'am. With
Thank
that,
you. May I also end
yes,
with a small little suggestion?
yes, please.
Since we have this time with ourselves, can we have these four things in our life? If we increase these four things, we become true human beings. Okay? Increase your compassion towards your loved ones and towards people who have harmed you. Can you do that?
Wow. Okay.
Forgive people who have done to hurt you, anything to hurt you, and forgive yourself if you have hurt people. Can we do that?
We can
Third
try.
thing, be as simple as possible. Eat simple food. Nutrition plays a very big role in how you are inside, the energies that we take in. Don't avoid spicy food, especially in the night time, heavy food in the night time. Have more vegetables, fruits, and soups around in the night time. That will give you a very good sleep throughout the night. Okay? So be as simple as possible. Try. And the most important thing is be truthful. Be truthful here, be truthful here, and feel it through the navel also, your belly. So, when you are truthful here, you will excel and you will be so content in life that you don't need anything else.
Wow.
Thank
Lovely.
you. This is
Thank you
from
so much.
all the teachers that I have in my life. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
With
Thank
that,
you.
with that, I sign off, and I will be back again with yet another interesting
Sure.
साथ की बात लज्जा के साथ. Good
Sure.
night.
Thank you. Good night.